Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 1977 of What You Up To Now, documenting the journey originally as I transitioned from the brick and mortar corporate world of business into the online world of business. Following my divorce in 2017, I came online, but it wasn't really until 2018 that I got up enough gumption after a year of people saying, you gotta publish, you gotta do video, you gotta go online, before I actually was brave enough to try to do some online video. And if you go back and watch those early videos, they're even worse than the ones I do now. So you have been warned. But there are literally thousands of videos of me online that you can go and watch. And some of them I did training, some of them are webinars, some of them are different tools and tricks and strategies and things that I learned online. Lots of challenges. I've done, I think this is my sixth or seventh or even eighth online annual challenge. We started out with doing one thing every day that scares us. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Actually 6, but I did 3 the first year, so it was, yeah, lots of stuff. Lots of learning, lots of lessons learned, lots of things that do work for me and that don't work for me. Now, keep in mind, just because it doesn't work for me doesn't mean it won't work for you. We're all different. We all come into every experience that we have with different past, different experiences, different strengths, different weaknesses, different thoughts, beliefs, feelings, etc. And what we bring into something is kind of like our idiom today. You reap what you sow. What we bring into something, what we put into something is what we get out of it. Now, it's interesting, the law of karma. It's a universal law, right? We all would like to argue with universal laws. We all like to argue with physical laws, but guess what? Physical laws and universal laws win because they affect everybody the same way. So what we put into things are what we get out of them. I remember telling my kids in high school, what you put into high school is going to be what you get out of it. What you put into anything is what you're going to get out of it. You get what you expect. That is one of my favorite sayings, which irritates some people, especially people that don't believe that they get what they expect or that they're responsible for the consequences of their choices, their feelings, their beliefs, their actions, their thoughts, etc. Guess what? We are all 100% responsible for the consequences and the results that happen in our life, whether they're good results or bad results. Usually, if it's a bad result, it's because we missed something or we didn't do something or we've got a lesson that we need to learn. If it's a good result, we tend to party and celebrate and forget to take what we learned from that positive experience and then duplicate it and do it over and over and over again. So you reap what you sow. I shared my little plant, my little sprig of a plant that has been with me for going on 8 years now. It was a gift from my first granddaughter, and I love it. It's a begonia, which is an annual plant, right? It's not supposed to last, but it seems to have a life of its own, and I love it. And this is a sprig from it, and it's died and come back and died and come back and died and come back so many times. But actually, yeah, I think it's a begonia. I don't even know what kind of plant it is anymore. It's been around for so long. So you reap what you sow. Do you believe what you put out into the world is what you get back? And do you believe that you're responsible for everything, right? We're at least responsible for our reaction to everything, right? I can't control the weather, but I'm responsible for my reaction to the weather. If every time it's rainy out, I get in a grumpy mood, whose fault is that? It's my fault because I know I can't control the weather, so why would I choose to get grumpy every time the weather is cloudy or gray or rainy, etc.? I gave up a long time ago predicting. It drives my kids nuts. I don't pay any attention to the weather. I decide, I open the door and I look out, or I look out the window and I decide what I'm going to wear, what I'm going to do based on what's going on outside with respect to the weather. But I don't check all the weather apps and things, maybe because we didn't grow up with weather apps and things. Maybe you'd hear on the news once a day what the weather was going to be, but it was always wrong. The weather predictions were always wrong. So it didn't matter what they said. If they said it was a 20% chance of rain, you better bring your umbrella in the car anyway for your picnic, because it was probably still going to rain, even though it was very unlikely that it would. So you reap what you sow. Our topic for this year's annual challenge today, we're focusing on financial goals this month as part of the Get Your Goals annual challenge. We're talking about 5 steps to get anything you want. I have been exposed to this information before in different forms. Most of us have, yet we don't listen to it. Me, I'm the same way. I didn't necessarily listen to it. I didn't always believe that I could create what I want, and there's a process for getting what we want. But I took a course and I participated in a couple of programs from a gentleman by the name of Jim Edwards online. And those were some of my early online experiences, even though I wasn't online or doing anything online yet. and he's one of my favorite people in the world and online. And he wrote a book and did a course and did a program that I was in the beginning class. The first time he ever shared it, I was in that group. And then he did it again a few years later. And now you can find his book on Amazon, on his website, etc. It's 5 Steps to Get Anything You Want by Jim Edwards. And, you know, the steps are really simple. First, you have to decide what you want. And this sounds really familiar if you've been around me at all, because it's the process we use for the SOAP framework. It's really, the SOAP framework is kind of a simplified problem-solving version of the how to get anything you want, right? If you got a problem, you want to solve it, so we apply the SOAP framework, which the steps of getting anything you want are pretty much the same, but you can call them whatever you want. I like the SOAP framework for focusing on solutions. I like our process that we're using this year for the annual challenge to get our goals in each different area and aspect of our life, which we're going to hop into that tomorrow, by the way. But today I wanted to share the 5 steps because it's a great book, and I like to recommend people and things that have been beneficial to me. So first step, what do you want? Second step, why do you want it? Third step, believe that it's possible for you, that you can make it happen in your life, and that eventually you will get what you want and that you deserve it. Fourth, have faith that it's on its way to you, and then that leads to step 5. Take massive action toward what the thing is that you want. You can't just sit around on the couch and wish for it to happen like they say in The Secret and visualize it. You want to visualize it as if you've got it already. And Jim teaches a great technique, which I've definitely talked about several times in the past, Power Vision movie. And we'll talk about that if we haven't talked about it yet in the challenge. I can't remember this year. So that's what I'm working on. That's what's going on today. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, have a terrific day. And I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow just to let you know what I'm doing, what's working, the content that I'm creating every day, what, the good, the bad, the ugly of both online and offline businesses. Because I've been around in both for not a decade online yet, but I've definitely been in the offline world for decades and decades and decades. All right, have a great day. I'll be with you tomorrow. Bye.